From what you've seen, what's Lamar's future?
I think he's a ways away. I think he'd be better served, Skip, if he were to have a redshirt season. I think all things being equal, the Ravens, having seen him in practice, having watched him in the preseason games, I believe they feel they'll be better served if he gets a red shirt season. He's not progressing like I thought he would, Skip. I know he struggled with his accuracy in college, but right now what he's doing, he's watching the rush and not feeling the rush. And when you watch the rush, you don't watch the coverage and you don't watch the receivers down the field. And so that's why I think because in the NFL, Skip, guys are not going to be open like they are in college. You have to have great anticipation. You have to have anticipatory skills. I always wanted to say that on television.
Well done.
It's pretty good for Savannah State.
Whoa, Skip. That was very unnecessary.
Harsh.
I will not have you taking a shot at SSU, the Orange Tiger.
SSU?
Yeah, Savannah State University.
Who knew?
Proud.
Yep.
College by the sea.
Are they still in business?
I
don't know.
What do you think they are? A department store? Of course we're in business.
Okay.
We hire learning. But anyway, as I was saying,
yes.
Skip, I think the thing is with him is that because he watches the rush and not feels the rush, his eyes are not downfield. So therefore, he's not anticipating when the guy's going to break open. The guys are getting open, and when he throws the ball, the defensive back has already made up the ground, and now it's incomplete. So I think he needs to get better at that. And plus, Joe Flacco has played better. I mean, we know what Joe Flacco is capable of doing once he gets in the playoffs. The thing that concerns you about Joe, if this has been his career, Skip, he'll throw for 350 one week and 3 touchdowns, and the next week he'll come back and throw for 79 with 2 picks. And so what we've seen in the preseason is that Joe Flacco has looked like the postseason Joe Flacco as opposed to the regular season last year. Now, give him to his credit, he did come off an ACL injury the previous year. So last year was probably that year trying to feel his way back into it. Now he's fully healthy. We'll see what Joe Flacco has to offer. But in my estimation, Skip, I believe the Ravens would love to have Lamar Jackson redshirt this entire season. Hell, they might want him to redshirt 2 seasons because he's not close yet. And to throw him in that fire, you're asking for trouble.
So I'm going to once again dig in and express his opinion, and I am expressing it from a position of supreme weakness because last night, for the most part, Lamar Jackson looked raw and shaky and red-shirty most of the night. But I'm going to say it again. I believe the Baltimore Ravens would win more games this year if they started Lamar Jackson from game 1 than if they played Joe Flacco again, as I call him.
Are you sure that TV worked?
It was working, and I get it. I know Joe Flacco's had a big camp, and he's got a huge arm, which was on full display last night, and he stands 6 feet, 6 inches tall in that pocket, and he can wing it, and he can throw 75-yard bombs. He threw one about 70 yards last night. It wasn't complete, but it was impressive on arm strength and velocity. And I realized Lamar Jackson, motion is not a thing of beauty when he releases the football, and he stands about 6'2" and goes about 215-ish. And yet, my opinion is based more on Flacco than it is on Lamar Jackson because I have seen enough for the Baltimore Ravens' sake, and you're a former Raven, I've seen enough of Joe Flacco. I'm going to remind you, they have missed the playoffs. The Baltimore Ravens 3 straight years and 4 of the last 5, and it's mostly because of that quarterback who carried the Ravens. I don't know if he carried them. He helped the Ravens win a Super Bowl after the 2012 season, and he was given the most money in the entire National Football League because of it. Did he deserve it? He'd had just a sensational playoff run that year, 11 touchdowns to no interceptions. They won 4 straight games.
He had a Nick Foles before Nick Foles had a Nick Foles.
He did. That's well said. I agree. Touché on that one. But since then, if you just look at the regular seasons, which is about all he has to show for himself, his QBR has ranked an average of 19th out of, say, 32 starting quarterbacks. 19th? That's the highest paid player in the game. And over that span, since that Super Bowl that the Ravens won, Joe Flacco has thrown 74 interceptions, second most only to Eli with 84, which is why Eli is on shaky ground too. But so is Joe Flacco. So I get it that once they took Lamar Jackson, Ozzie Newsome did with his last his last draft. Late in the first round, I get it that Flacco took it up a level because it's pretty easy to do when you know the offense and the kid doesn't.
Right.
And when you are the flip side of the kid because you are about as pure a statuesque pocket passer as you can find in the league.
And
right?
And you know they brought a replacement in for you.
That's what I'm saying. But the replacement is the complete, utter, polar opposite of you.
Correct.
He is, at best, sort of a rollout passer who can really run. But the point is, this kid has the rarest acceleration I have ever seen on the football field. I guess we could find some Tavon Austin wideout who would have that kind of acceleration, but I'm talking about rare, raw acceleration that can change the game. It changed the game at Louisville, and Bobby Petrino was his coach, and I wish Bobby Petrino would still coach him. I've never been a big Marty Morningweg guy. He just keeps bouncing around from team to team to team, and I never know what he does. What does he have to show for himself? I'm not sure.
Well, he did defer the ball on the kickoff.
Okay, so that was
you
the
remember
head
that
coach
in
of the
overtime?
Detroit Lions when he went 5-27. But he's always coordinating. I don't know what he's doing. But again, I don't love it that Lamar is now under his tutelage, but whatever, because I'm sure that Marty Morningweg would defer more to Joe Flacco and say, we got a much better shot with Joe Flacco.
Right.
But the point is, when Lamar then ran the rollout play for the touchdown, I'm watching him read, and he reads first option covered, second option covered, and then Chris Moore is the third option on the back of the end zone. When Lamar Jackson releases the football, it has above average velocity to it. Like he's got some whip in his arm. I don't know. It doesn't look pretty to watch the mechanics of it.
But if you notice, Skip, like when he rolls out of the pocket, you make the reads very easy for him because you cut down the entire half of the backfield.
Got it.
So now you got flat
I'm with
to
you.
the angle
I'm
cross.
with you. I'm with you.
So now
he goes bang, bang, bang.
Right.
But he hit Chris Moore right on the button.
Yes.
And again, it's twos or threes versus three. I don't even know what it is by the third quarter, but it looked good. And I saw a whole lot of that at Louisville.